Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Mato here again and I'm back on smart drones. I know guys, it's been literally almost a year since my last video. Life happened. I basically went into semi-retirement, but long story short, I'm back and today I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about the DJI Mavic 2S before you buy it. Stay tuned. Alright guys, if you didn't already know, on Thursday, April 15th, DJI released their latest drone, the DJI Mavic 2S, and I wish I had my hands on it right now, but I haven't reached the influencer status to get the drones way ahead of time, and I promise to do a video on the unboxing and personal review when I get my hands on it. But as a drone user and somebody that knows a little bit about drones, here are the things I think you need to know before you make the decision to buy one. So let's go. Right off the bat, talking about drones, one of the things you want to think about if you're buying a consumer drone, not an FPV drone, is the camera. Well, here are a few facts. First, the camera has a 1-inch sensor. I know it basically means it could take better pictures in low light or dim weather settings. It has a 1-inch sensor. It has an f2.8 aperture. It has a fixed aperture, so it's not as good as the Mavic Pro 2 that had an adjustable aperture. It has a fixed aperture, and when DJI's comment on this is that it's to save weight. So basically the Mavic Air 2S also has a 5.4K camera at 30 frames per second. Guys, that is mind-blowing, because think of all the cropped videos you could get at an output at still 4K because you shot them in 5.4K 30 frames per second. It's mind-blowing. Even the Mavic Pro 2 doesn't shoot at 5.4K. So this is the biggest resolution we have on a DJI consumer drone currently, which is crazy, and it's still not expensive as the Mavic Pro 2, and we'll get to that in a bit. So back to the camera, we have a 1-inch sensor, we have 5.4K shooting at 30 frames per second, we have an f2.8 aperture, which means it does well in low light, it does well in dim settings when the weather is looking foggy. So all this is all good for the camera. Now after the camera, so another thing I need to talk about is DJI software. DJI has always blown my mind. I've been a DJI fanboy since forever, since the Phantom days, and with their software, there's a new shooting mode in addition to the quick shots we've all come to know and love, the drone, the helix, the circle. There's a new shooting mode in addition to the active track and the rest. It's called Master Shot. So basically what Master Shot does is it takes a couple of random complicated manual shots around a place of interest and compiles into a single video. So I don't know about you guys, but in my circle of friends, more likely than not, I'm the only person that knows how to fly a drone. I've tried to get them in on it, but well, it is what it is. But when I go out to these epic locations alone, because I like to make solo movements to clear my head and just fly my drone, when I get to these epic locations, I am most times confined to filming myself holding the controller or using one of the pre-confined quick shots like drone, selfie, and those are fine, don't get me wrong, those are perfect. But sometimes you need to pull off some more elaborate maneuvers and you have no one else to film you, so now you have Master Shot. I was a bit skeptical at first about Master Shot, but having more insight into what it actually does, it's amazing. A lot of different complicated shots, parallax zoom. Oh, back to the camera, did I mention that it has 3x digital zoom? It's not a dream, guys. This is real. DJI always, it's almost as if every couple of months DJI looks for a new way to take out money from our pockets while giving us way more than we're paying for. Like, it's amazing. Then we move on from the camera to talk about the weight. The weight is pretty much the same as the Mavic Air 2. Another thing that's the same is the charging hub and the batteries. So basically the batteries for the Mavic Air 2S are interchangeable with the Mavic Air 2. Now, another difference between the Mavic Air 2S and the Air 2 is that the Mavic Air 2S, which is the one we are currently talking about, has 4 directional sensors, which means it has a sensor on top, beneath, in front, and behind, as opposed to the Mavic Air 2, which only has 3 directions: in front, behind, and below. And comparing that to the Mavic Mini and the Mini 2, which just has 1 below, I think the only drone in the consumer section that has like all round is like a Mavic Pro 2 or a Mavic Platinum, which has omnidirectional sensor, that is in front, behind, beside, above, beneath. So this Mavic Air 2S has 4 directional sensors: forward, backward, top, and below, which is pretty good because it helps you have features like active track. So while it's actively tracking you, it's not going to fly head on, topward or bottom into any obstacle. You could go around it, stall, depending on your setting. Another subtle change I noticed with this new drone is that DJI upped the software so that you don't have to go into the clunky settings to do your video settings like your ISO, your aperture, or your other settings. You're able to do that right up from like bottom of the screen. There are like little buttons there that you could use. If you're really deep into cinematography, what I'm about to tell you is going to really matter to you, and that is the camera color profile. So with the new drone, DJI has a 10-bit color profile, which gives you amazing room of flexibility in post-production of your content, which is mind-blowing. And again, back to the camera again, because I just can't seem to get my mind up around how amazing this is. Back to the camera, because of the high quality of the camera, you can have crop photos, crop videos, and the output still comes out really the same. And did I mention that it also works well with the DJI Smart Controller? For those of you that are new to my channel or new to drones, a DJI Smart Controller is DJI's controller that comes with a screen embedded in it, and it works with most of DJI drones. It doesn't work with the Mini, but it works with every other drone, I think. And why would you like this? Because it's better than having to plug in your phone and plug in the wires and stabilize it, and then a call is coming in or whatever. It just makes everything declustered and simple, and basically easier and fun to use. And then OcuSync 3.0. So OcuSync 3.0 is a technology that allows you to do live streaming. That is live streaming from the drone to your goggles by FPV, or live streaming from the drone to your phone. And OcuSync 3.0 was introduced a couple of months ago with the DJI FPV. Don't get me started on that drone. Different video. So OcuSync 3.0 extends the range of the Mavic Air 2 from 10 kilometers to 12 kilometers, which clearly outdoes the Mavic Pro 2 and its predecessor, the Mavic Air 2. But I remember mentioning something about the batteries. Now, although both the Mavic Air 2S and the Mavic Air 2 both use the same battery, it is worthy to note that on the Mavic Air 2, that battery produces a tagged flight time of 34 minutes as opposed to 31 minutes on the Air 2S. Well, I think for all the amazing features we're getting, it's not really that much of a trade-off. And then we go into internal memory. I know for someone that loves to fly on the Mini, you get a little bit bugged off on internal memory, having it or not having it. But one thing I have to let you know is that the Mavic Air 2S has 7.9 gig, basically 8 gig of internal memory. So on a day when you forget to flight your memory card, you might be able to get a few shots before you realize how much of a mess you're in. And the price tag, well, the basic price tag is $999, which comes with a drone, the cables you need, your flight controller, your smart battery, and a charging hub. But I always advise anyone that has been on my channel or seen my videos to always go for the combo version for a few extra dollars, which is $1,200, and that gives you a shoulder bag, 2 extra batteries, ND filters that helps you in low light and polarized settings, and a charger hub, and a charger that converts your batteries to a power bank. It's really smooth if your battery dies on the shoot or you on a long journey. I always use my DJI Mavic Mini batteries as power bank most of the times. You see me carrying that little case about, having fun with it. And for those of my viewers and subscribers in Nigeria, I think the estimate of the price points for the basic version is about 480,000 naira with the current exchange rate, and then for the combo version, which I advise you to get, is a little northward of 530 to 540k. So guys, thank you again, thank you so much, and please, I'm going to be putting a little snapshot on the screen somewhere about here. So here you can see the comparison between the DJI Air 2S, the DJI Air 2, the Mavic Pro 2, and the DJI Mini. Feel free to pause the video at this point and take a look at this. And thank you so much for taking out 10 minutes of your time to see this video. Please like, leave a comment, ask your questions, subscribe, let me know what you'd like to see more, and always stay safe. Peace.